Yo.
Yeah.
Yo, yo, yo. Yo, Jameson
Scares me.
This is not sponsored by Jameson, but it's the best whiskey, hands down.
Here comes the sweating.
Does it have like a nice spice?
No.
What a pleasant taste.
You're so weird.
Yo, welcome to another episode of CEO in Rome.
This is Yo.
And this is Rome, and this is episode number
88.
Hold on. You sure?
No.
Hold on. Yeah, 88. You're right. You're right. First of all, I want to get something out the way. Oh, okay. Before the first of all, if you want to get yourself some merch, head on over to afgoclothing.com. Get yourself a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a hoodie.
Yes, and we have a discount code for you guys. That is Zio and Rome 15. That gets you 15% off. Cop yourself something. Take a picture. Tag us in it. Let us shout you out. And
Go ahead.
we may have a blowout sale coming soon that will give you possibly, we're in the works, 45% off.
Yes. So I'm not telling you not to buy right now, but I'm telling you that we are in the process of negotiating a final sale. Basically, we're looking to diversify some of our merchandising options, and also the person that's currently making our merchandise is looking to move on to some other things. So we requested that before we part ways and start moving in different directions, if we could offer you guys a major discount. So for those of you who've been thinking about buying but didn't want to drop $30 on a hoodie, totally get it. The summer's approaching, yada, yada. Your chance is coming soon.
Yes.
Stash up for the wintertime, my nigga.
Yes. And what about 45% off, dude? Come on.
Christmas in July.
Christmas in July.
It's not July yet,
And
but you get what I'm saying.
Let's be 100. Winter clothes wear, like that trend, is popping right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I was
why
wearing a
not?
hoodie with
Shorts.
shorts the other day. It was
Yeah,
cute
you
and
can't
whatnot.
decide if you're cold or hot, but it's all right.
Yeah, and best podcast of 2019.
Undisputed.
And if you want to dispute it, shoot us an email at zioandrome@gmail.com.
Yup.
How you doing?
I'm so fabulous.
I just got off work.
Me
and,
too.
you know, I kind of think I like just diving right into this.
Honestly, me too, because I still have a little bit of an energy, and it gives me some sort of peace of mind where I'm not like, okay, I have to work around this because on this weekday, on the weekend, I have to do like it kind of, and you know, this Sunday is Mother's Day.
Yes.
And I am a mother.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Speaking
it's nice.
of, let's jump straight into the Mother's Day shit.
Sure.
First of all, happy Mother's Day and whatnot.
Happy Mama's Day.
And what we want to do is dedicate something to our mothers.
Yes.
And it's going to be called Dear Mom.
Dear Mama.
Yo, so do you want me to start?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Dear Mom, I just want to say that I remember when I lost my virginity, you got really, really mad. So
you're
mad
really going in
that
there.
it affected you for a couple days. And in the middle of my slumber, you decided to take your long ass Shanae nails and choke me out of my sleep. And at the time, I didn't understand. But now that I'm a mature adult, I totally get it. I ruined your vision of me as your delicate little flower. And in that moment, I became a thought in your mind. And you were like, you little fucking piece of shit bitch. And I totally get what that means. And I deserved it. And I just want to say that as a mom, no one's ever really ready to accept that their daughter was busting it wide open. But you did. And you handled it with dignity, grace, and gangsta. And I love you.
Grace is not choking you.
She didn't kill me.
Touche.
What do you got for your mom? I got a few more lined up.
All
so we
right.
can keep this going.
Dear Mom. Let's just feed off of that, shall we?
Yeah.
All right. Mom, I want to say I also understand. I understand that when you found out I lost my virginity, why you were so angry. I was the last daughter that you were raising. I was your baby. You expected me to take care of everything forever while I was still a virgin. So much so that as you ran towards me to slap me in my face, when I told you, you tripped over your own feet and landed face forward on the floor. And instead of trying to even get back up because you knew you couldn't, you just decided to punch the floor like a little 2-year-old throwing a tantrum. I was confused and scared all at the same time. I didn't know whether to help you or run away. So I get it. I get it.
You moms have to deal with so much. And it's even worse when there are siblings involved. Because we just be turning each other up. And we didn't even know what turning up was back in the 90s.
Word up. We originated it back then without even knowing.
Man, we was kikiing in the back seat while you trying to concentrate on driving. And we were breaking shit in the house, blaming each other. You didn't know who was telling the truth or who was telling a lie. Because even back then, we were master manipulators.
Most of the time, it was me.
A lot of times, it was me.
I would just, you do the trick where it's like, actually, Mom, I want to confess. You know those little figurines you used to have on top of the little TV stand back in the Bronx? And you went to grab it one day and the head came off? It was me. I put it back. So I figured the next person that touched it had to be them. It wasn't me. It was one of them little fuckers that you took in. Because my aunt and uncle passed away.
And I think I already confessed about this, but for the record, in case anyone forgot, you know that Afrocentric art you used to keep around the house? You had that black ceramic head, mannequin head, that disappeared suddenly. And one day you found it in the back stairwell, in the back door of the house, and it was kind of glued together because I tried to fix it. Well, I gave it away. I was the one that broke it. It wasn't Junior. Junior took a lot of ass whoopings for me, actually. He was the one that accidentally spilled all the Tom's mouthwash down the sink when he was with that guy who was into all that Afrocentric natural toothpaste and mouthwash shit.
I'm going to hell.
I know back then Tom's mouthwash wasn't
expensive.
Cheap. And the whole mouthwash accidentally spilled down the sink. Yeah, it was me. And I just want to thank you for putting up with our shit because I know being a mom is tough. Especially when dealing with two hooligans like me and Junior. So cheers to you. Now we get to take care of you when you have too much to drink.
My mom doesn't drink.
Could you imagine if she did, though?
I don't know, because she's crazy even without drinking. So can you imagine if she actually,
Yo,
throw them back?
My mom is a happy drunk, but she starts to, forget names and stuff. It's kind of funny. She was calling my brother her boyfriend's name.
What?
And one's black and the other one's white.
Yeah, and
so
they're completely polar opposites.
Yeah. Anyway.
Thank you, Mom.
Happy Mother's Day to you, lovely ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Moving along. So listen, got some very interesting topics, some that I could not wait to share with you. Okay. I know you've been eager to share some with me.
Geos.
I think because you've been more eager.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, I think you should go first because I can't wait to hear this.
All right. First and foremost, obviously, Zeal Talk. You like that? All right. Zeal Talk. All right.
Way better than seals.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what I was thinking. Anywho, so I was at work and there was a conversation that was taking place. And as I'm hearing people speak, I'm like, yo, this would make a great fucking question. So have you ever heard people talking about sexual partners? And then they're like, dude, hands down, Sally, best sex I've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Best sex I ever had. She just knew what the fuck she was doing. She left me damn, I wonder what Sally's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So do you ever wonder?
Yes.
You even let me finish, goddammit, because you know me. Not these people probably know us by now.
Go.
Do you ever wonder if people sit around and think that you are the best sex they have ever had?
Yes.
And if so, what do you think they say?
I think they're man, this little Puerto Rican chick, man, it's crazy. Wow, it's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy. She was a little fat, but
oh my God.
I'm pretty sure this is what niggas say. Yo, she had a little weight on her or whatever, but she had big ass titties. But she knew what the fuck she was doing, and she knew how to cook. I think that's like,
So do you always cook for people while you have sex with them?
I mean, this is the only stage in my life where I've dated with absolutely no intentions of having a commitment.
Got it.
Anytime in my life that I've dated or found myself involved with someone, whether it was stupid of me or not, I always in my mind hoped and wanted things to develop into something more.
And you feel like you find yourself in a space where you're comfortable if it doesn't.
Now I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah.
now I'm upfront and saying I don't want anything with anybody. You know what I mean? But back then, I think because I always had this thing in my head that I wanted things to turn into more, that it was like, yo, let me cook them a meal. I was more of the nurturer.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, nurture me, goddammit.
Oh, I get it.
But anyway, I'm pretty sure that, I've knocked the socks off of a few lads in my day. It's the Jameson talking. Sponsor us.
You're so Irish.
How about you?
Yes, actually. I feel that way. I do feel that way for a few reasons. One, because like, I know what I'll do in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But also because like, even though people will, for the most part, tell you what they think you want to hear, I feel like I'm a very observant person. And I like follow-up conversations. Like, I'm not the person that rolls over and is like, so, how was it? I'm not that person.
Yeah.
But, like, sometimes you just be like, hey, I just want to say something, like, blah, 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 whatever. And then, like, people tend to go in like, yeah, man. Oh, my God. Blah, blah, blah. I can't get into, like, the exact.
I like the feedback.
You know what I love
like the
feedback.
Like, listen, it's very important for me to know that you're satisfied. How was it? Was there anything that I could do? It's like a review at work.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I could do better?
Yeah. Like if like, oof, girl, the way you arch that back though, or whatever the case may be. I'm like, yep. Plus, I also have another thing. I know I messed around with someone that this is actually really funny. I used to think that someone was super, super attractive, right? Mm-hmm. And this was when I was thicker. Not much thicker than now, but like thicker.
Yeah.
And he only ever really liked athletic, slim girls. So I knew that I wasn't necessarily his cup of tea. Like he thought I was cute, but like I wasn't someone who he was initially attracted to like he would athletic or slim girls. And I remember one time having a conversation and him saying that the reason he didn't fuck with thick girls was because they couldn't take the D.
Yeah.
And I was like internally laughing, like, what?
Challenge
Accepted. And like, after chilling a couple of times, one thing led to another, and like shit went down. And I'm gonna tell you what, years passed, and every girl that I ever saw him with after that was a thick girl.
Changed the game. Does she ever hit you up every now and then just to see how you doing?
Yeah, we've had a couple cycles in life.
That's how you know.
That we've had a couple cycles
That's
in
how
life.
you know when you left the mark, when they just be like, hey, I'm just hitting you up to see how you doing. And you haven't like.
We should click up. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
Yeah.
That's how you know. You know what's so crazy? Like you bring up the whole thing of like you knew up front that you weren't his type or whatever. Beauty is beauty. And the thing with women is like there's so many different types and diversifications of beauty. Like I still find myself surprised to this day in terms of the types of people that are attracted to me.
Really?
To this day, because I'm like, sweetie, I'm a little too old for you.
Who cares?
There's a 10 plus age gap. Go live your life, young man. Or someone that's much older than me.
Maybe that's what they're doing with you, is living their life.
That's fine. Or someone much older than me. I'm like, wow. Me and my friend have a stupid ass, goofy ass podcast. I'm surprised you find me attractive. Or people of another race, or people who are particularly fit and I'm not fit at all. And I don't give a fuck about diet to that extent. It's like you think that people have a type, but sometimes people can just see the gem that's within you. And it might be something different than they've ever experienced, but that may add to the excitement for them. There's something that's so intriguing. But I think that I'm getting a little too off the road of what you originally asked was, do you ever wonder if you're the one that got away or if you're the one that people talk about in the cubicle or whatever? I know I'm that bitch. No, I'm just kidding. At least for one or two.
I would love
lads.
to be, I would love to be a
You'll
fly on the wall when these people are discussing like the best sex that they ever had. If I was to be that person, just to see what they say.
This conversation, that's actually, there's a perfect segue into another topic I wasn't planning on bringing up until the end.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Aisha Curry thing.
Yes.
Because we're talking about how nice it is to hear feedback from other men. But people may think to us, you know, CO and Rome, you're two single women. This is normal talk. But a married woman, no. Off limits. I have very strong opinions about some of the backlash. But for those of you who have not heard about this, Aisha Curry is the wife to the basketball player Steph Curry. Very popular basketball player. I don't even watch basketball and I know who the nigga is.
Yeah, they have such a great relationship too that they're known to be quote unquote relationship goals.
Cute couple.
Yeah.
Cute little.
Since the high school sweethearts.
So Aisha, she was on Red Table Talk and there were some remarks of her saying for the past 10 years, and I'm paraphrasing, the past 10 years, you know, my husband gets all the attention from women. He's got a bunch of groupies. And in those 10 years, I haven't really had a man hit on me or do anything that points out that he's attracted to me. And sometimes I just wonder if there's something wrong with me. And people hearing her say that are like, bitch, you're married to Steph Curry. Why the fuck are you looking for attention from other men? And they're coming down on her really hard. So the internet's been on fire with that, with very strong opinions. Some I agree with, some I don't. And I think it's a really good conversation for us to have. CO, for you, do you feel that there's an issue for her seeking that male attention or expecting it, or her thinking something's wrong with her since she's not getting that? Like, what are your overall thoughts?
I think that they were poor choice of words. I feel like they were poor choice of words, and the way that she, you know, concocted the sentence with those words put together was probably not the best route to go. It wasn't PC. However, I honestly don't think that there was something like, oh my God, how dare she say that about her statement. I feel like the feeling behind what she was trying to say is a very real thing for women. I think that if you take into consideration, she's had 3 kids with this man back to back, not like back to back, but there maybe a year or two space between each one of these kids. She's been known as Steph Curry's wife. Like, she's trying to make a name for herself with her cookbooks and all of these things. I think that you can get lost in that space. You can get lost as far as who you are as an individual. And I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Everybody likes some sort of validation or attention from the opposite sex. And I think that doesn't mean that she meant, oh, I want attention because I'm going to act on it. I think that she's just saying, I wonder if there's something wrong with me. Perhaps she feels lost within herself. Maybe she feels like what she had that attracted men to her to begin with has somewhere along the line lost itself. So was it poorly executed? Absolutely. Do I understand the meaning that she probably was trying to relay? Yeah, I really, really do.
You know, I think that if you actually look at what she said verbatim, it clears up a lot of the confusion. You know, I think that people are adding to the narrative and speculating beyond what she said. What I gather from it is in the past 10 years, my observation is that no one has been checking for me. Not that I've been looking for it.
Right.
My observation is that no one's been checking for me. So my thought is that whether you're seeking the attention or not, when men find you attractive,
they usually let it be known.
They usually say something. They'll at least be like, yo, man, no disrespect. I know that you're this man's wife, but you're a beautiful lady. You're a beautiful woman. And, you know, maybe she's getting the attention and she's not realizing it, because I find it very hard to believe that she's not receiving any comments on her beauty. She's probably not getting them in her face, but I'm sure they're out there if she really was looking for it.
Absolutely.
But my thing is that she's making the observation that no one is randomly approaching her, commenting on her beauty when it comes male to female. And whether or not her perspective is accurate, she's simply making an observation, and her observing that she's not seeing that from guys is leading her to think that wow, well, I'm not looking for it. It's not happening. I wonder if I ain't got it like that no more.
Right.
That's really all I gathered from it. But since she didn't articulate it in those ways, it left the door open for people to interpret it in whatever way they wanted to.
I agree.
I think in responding to this, which she has responded to it, it's basically like, yo, y'all are adding shit to what the fuck I said. I never said I was seeking it, but it doesn't mean it doesn't matter. And for all you motherfuckers out there that want to act like you don't give a fuck if someone has something kind of say to you, like the other side of the coin is how good you feel when someone actually does have something kind to say about you and the way you look. Wow, you have a beautiful smile. Wow, you're gorgeous. Like, even when someone comments on how beautiful I am and they're of the same sex, I'm not looking for other women to tell me that I'm beautiful. But when they tell me that I'm beautiful, it still affects me in a positive way. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So looking for it and receiving it, like, those things don't even have to be connected at all, but I feel like everyone's connecting the two, and that's what's creating all the fucking mayhem.
Yeah, and I definitely want to give a shout out to Steph. I don't know if you saw his comment today that he put out, giving her props, saying how he respects the fact that she has always been open with her own opinions on things, regardless of how it made anyone else feel, and that he backs her up for the things that she says, regardless of the feedback that she gets, because she is being who she really is and not sugarcoating that for anyone.
And I appreciate him saying that, because she could be the basketball player's wife in the shadows like most other wives do, you know, and she's actually venturing out, and while she's not doing it right, in my opinion,
I agree.
I applaud her for wanting to have something of her own, because a lot of women do lose their sense of identity when they're in the shadows of their spouse. So I applaud her for trying. I do feel there's a better way that she could have went about it. But I applaud her for telling her truth, and hopefully I would love to continue to watch her journey as she goes through this. Dealing with social media can be overwhelming. I don't know what it's like to be a celebrity and to have the internet going crazy, but I think she needs to drop a product line, or she needs to follow up with all this mayhem with some shit and just keep looking for it. I feel that we can all take a page out of Jay-Z and Beyonce's book in terms of
Sharing less,
or if you are going to share more, and I'm encouraged the speaking up piece, make sure you always preface it with the expectation that someone's going to take something you said out of context. Like, yo, let me dumb it down for the ignorant people in the back before y'all go crazy.
Another thing, though, that I was thinking about
what I said was
I said what I said. Another thing, though, that I did begin to think about when I was trying to dissect and make sense of all of it to myself was she was at the Red Table Talk. She was sitting around a table with a whole bunch of other females. There were no males around, where she was trying to prove a point, like, oh, no men, you know, where she can get a feedback from a man to be like, oh, no, you're beautiful. I don't know what you're talking about. She was sitting around with a bunch of girls, feeling extremely comfortable, and she was just being another girl at a table. When girls get around each other, these are usually the things that they feel comfortable speaking about.
Of course.
So who cares? Like, okay, I understand that it was something that was publicized that was going to go out to, you know, the crowds. But at the end of the day, like, could she have worded it better? Yes. Was her intention exactly what people are making it? I really don't think so. In my opinion, I do not think that that's what it was.
And I think we need to assume one of the best things I've learned from music writing, and shout out to Rook, is that when you write music, if you want it to be a hit, it has to be so simple that a 5-year-old can understand it, or can bop to it, or can memorize it. And I feel the same thing goes for when you're kind of out and publicizing things. You have to understand that some of these adults have the comprehension and understanding of a 5-year-old.
Right.
And typically these are, and if not a 5-year-old, a 5th grader, or whatever the fuck you want to, however you want. Not everyone has that level of enlightenment or experience that they can be like, okay, well, technically it's not wrong. So being that you have people in different spectrums and different levels of maturity in their lives, you have to sometimes dumb things down for the people in the back. And I feel that if she practices that a little bit more, she can avoid a lot of this backlash as she continues to express herself.
I agree on that. So leave Aisha alone. Leave her alone.
All right, what you got?
All right. This might get a little deep.
So deep.
Okay. Rome.
CO.
What does a soulmate mean to you?
It doesn't exist to me right now.
No. We're not talking about time. We're not talking about past, present, or future. We're talking about just the wording and what soulmate defines. What does that mean to you?
Okay, let me reword what the fuck I just said.
Okay.
Soulmate, not mean that I don't believe in soulmates for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in the term soulmate.
Okay.
Because I'm a believer that by believing in the term soulmate, we limit ourselves to force ourselves to seek for this one being that fits into our lives like a missing piece of a puzzle that's meant to be with us infinitely. And I feel that would be my definition of the term soulmate, the missing piece of my life that is meant to be here forever. And without this piece, I am incomplete. But I don't know that soulmates exist. If I had to make up a definition, it's the missing piece. It is the missing piece. Without you, I will never reach my full potential in life. And we do that for each other. And that's a beautiful, awesome thing if you find it. I'm not sure that exists. I guess that's the sidebar piece to it. But that would be my definition of it. Meaning that this thing only exists in movies to me right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
What do you think?
I think that when people talk about soulmates, they go and lean towards the way of explanation or definition that you just stated. Like, oh, this missing piece that's going to complete me. To me, in my opinion, I don't believe in that definition of soulmate. I believe that a soulmate is someone, and I don't think that you can have just one soulmate in your life. I think a soulmate can be a friend. I think that a soulmate can be a romantic relationship. I think a soulmate can be a family member. I think that a soulmate is someone who comes into your life and is almost a mirror, kind of like shows you something about yourself that you weren't necessarily aware of, and allows you by doing that to change something in your life, whether it's within pain, within joy, within whatever, for the better. I think that is a soulmate. Triggers you so much within your soul that you become a better person because of it, whatever the outcome is. And I think that people kind of look at soulmates like this, oh, like the finale. Oh, this is it. I have accomplished. I have met who I need to meet. This is our happily ever after. I don't believe in that. I believe that a soulmate is definitely someone who is there to kind of rip you apart at times and show you something about yourself that you aren't even aware of and bring you to your own growth.
If we look at soulmates like they're the perfect partner, I think the perfect partner is someone that's patient, someone that's forgiving, someone that not only takes but also gives, someone who's genuinely interested in your well-being on all levels, someone that's flexible enough to grow with you and to accept who you are, no matter what stage you are in life, you know. And if meeting that criteria makes you a soulmate, then great, you know, if that's what we want to call it. But I feel like the soulmate thing becomes like this mythical, like, oh my gosh, we were just meant to be, you know, without any effort. And I feel that's where a lot of people screw themselves up.
Yeah, because they're going off of that movie kind of definition of, oh, this is my soulmate. I feel like we give a lot of purpose and definition of things that we consider in love off of movie.
Yeah.
Movie love, movie romance, all these things. And at the end of the day, like, that's come on, guys.
But I feel like I've felt movie love. The thing that sucks is when you realize that it was meant for a season and not for a lifetime.
Well, and that's why I say that my definition of soulmate works for me, because it's like, you can still have been my soulmate at a specific season because you taught me something. And at the end of the day, the purpose in life is to always continue growing. I don't think growth should ever stop, no matter the age, no matter what is going on in your life. So I feel like if it takes a friend to show me something, if it takes a partner to show me something, it takes a family member. I feel like if you've connected to my soul, I mean, not granted, don't be out here thotting and bopping when you got a thousand fucking soulmates. But I think that you should give that realistic approach to certain people in your life. Like, okay, they weren't gonna last forever, but you know what, you touched my soul at a certain point.
Do you feel like you could have more than one soulmate?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the other thing with the term soulmate, why I say I don't believe they exist.
It means one.
People in there think that there's only one ever.
I don't believe that. I feel like either. You can have, like, you've ever heard that little, I think it's a meme or a quote or something that's going around on the internet that says you only fall in love 3 times in your life. The first time you fall in love, it's a young love. It's a love that kind of teaches you what you're going to be in life. And then the second love comes surprising you, blah, blah, blah. And then the third love here is last. Like that, I don't believe in that. I feel like love comes in different levels.
Yeah.
I feel like there's been moments in life where I've been in love and I've said, oh my God, I will never love anyone the way that I love you. And then shit happens and someone else surprises me and I'm like, oh my God, I love you so much. It doesn't mean that I love you less or love you more than the person I had previously loved. It just means that I love you differently.
Are you at a stage in life where you're comfortable with welcoming love from different people?
Absolutely. Even people
like you don't feel like, whoa, this is bad because I loved the last person.
Not at all. I feel like I'm so open to whatever is to come. So much so that I find myself even reneging on things that I may have said in the past I would never do. Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean? Like my past self would have been like, that will never happen to me and blah, blah, blah. Like I find myself not saying I'm going to do it, but almost accepting of the openness of if it does happen, oh well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's in believing soulmates, it leaves this thing like, oh, you can only have one. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, I don't believe in that term, but taking love wherever you can get it is pretty dope. I just realized I don't have the charger plugged in the phone. Hopefully we get the full episode. Anyway. Yeah, good topic.
Thanks.
I'm gonna change gears a little bit.
All right.
Y'all ready for this shit?
Jerp.
This is a little bit of a rant because I typed out a lot, and then I'll let you respond accordingly.
All right.
I am willing to fight someone to keep our podcast alive. I know it sounds cute and whatever, but I want you all to know that I'm legit willing to fight someone. Here's a scenario. So let's say someone runs up on me and says, you can't podcast anymore. If you make another podcast, I'm going to pull up. Man, not only am I fighting, but I'm fucking that person up to avenge our podcast.
Are you pulling up to them or are they pulling up to us?
If they pull up on me,
okay,
I'm fucking them up.
Okay. All right.
I'm fucking them up.
Okay.
You ain't going to stop me from doing what the fuck we do. I don't know what made me come up with this concept, but I was reading something online and I was like, yo, if someone tried to bully me and be like, think about it, because there's things that happen, politics.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Gang shit, work shit, where people intimidate you and make you feel like, yo, if you become too poppin', I'm going to shut your shit down. We were just talking about record labels, my brother and I, about how they sometimes give certain artists a deal because they don't want them to compete with other artists. Ace Hood being one of the suspected artists. Allegedly. Mm-hmm. If someone were to offer us a deal just to take us off the market so we're not competing with the next person or whatever. If someone threatened me and be like, yo, you can't do this no more, I'm going to be like, my nigga, I'm not going to stop. Like, that's where I am.
Fight me!
Yeah, I'm willing to fight. I'm willing to put a fist to face over CEO on their own podcast.
I'm willing to fight.
Gang,
but gang. Okay. I'm willing to fight too, but I also feel like that kind of screams the hunger that we have behind what we're doing. I think that this started off, I'm not going to front, to me, I don't know if you want to like say your piece or whatever, but to me, you know, I had just gotten out of a breakup, out of a relationship. I was just entering a breakup. It was at first something I had talked about podcasting for a long time with you. You do know that.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was like, okay, I need a distraction. I know that I want to do this. It's something that I just want to kind of see where it takes me, almost like a hobby. Talk shit. I'm good at talking shit. Why not? I need a distraction right now. I need something to get me out of my feelings. And I think somewhere along the line, it turned from that to I truly, truly enjoy doing this. And not only do I enjoy doing this, I want to see it grow so much that it's another job. It's another job, but not a job that I hate to go to. It's another job that I'm like, I cannot wait to release another episode. I have so many topics. I literally am the girl where I'm just like having conversations with my friends or coworkers or whatever. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like writing a note. Like, I love that feeling.
Yeah.
I love that feeling. I will fight someone over this shit.
Yeah. I think that for me, I'm the type of person that I'm like, I always look at the potential. Like, I had no way of knowing in the beginning what would have happened with this. Like, I knew inside of me, like, yo, this could be just one idea that I'm in love with it today, and then tomorrow I lose the passion, or I'm in love with it today and it might never take off, and no one might ever listen
right
to us, and we might say, you know what, fuck it, we're just wasting our time, and then we quit. I knew that those things could have happened, but I also believed in myself, like, yo, what if we do this shit and it pops off and then people are hitting us up and whatever. I just always want to be prepared for best case scenario with this. So I always like approach this with the business dynamic in mind. So that way we wouldn't be behind the ball if something great and amazing was to happen. I'm all about manifesting the best scenarios and wanting the absolute best, but I never really knew if it were to happen for us. So here we are, you know, what is this? 88
episodes in.
Totally different place than episode 1, which, by the way, for those of you who are going back and listening, like I said,
we do all of it. Analytics, editing, producing, all of it.
Yeah, I see the numbers. A lot of you are binge listening from the beginning. And if you listen to episode 1 versus episode 88, you're going to hear a difference. And I'm really proud of what we're doing and how we're connecting with people. But not to bore those listening to us now, I just want you guys to know how much we appreciate you and everything that we're doing. And a lot of people ask me questions about, well, how is it that you guys come up with topics? And, you know, people are genuinely interested in learning how it is that we do what we do. And it's like, yo, at the end of the day, this is kind of like improv. So I don't know. I'm learning new skills. I'm challenging myself. We're challenging each other. It's been such a great journey, and we couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you.
Really quick question, just to piggyback off of this topic. You, Rome, have done other business ventures prior to this whole podcast thing.
Yeah.
What do you feel different from this in comparison to what you've done before?
I feel like as it relates to like books that I may have co-authored or public speaking engagements, other ventures, channels. Yeah, things like that. I feel like I'm more confident. I feel like the tools we have today versus the tools we had back then are a lot different. The engagement's a little bit different. I feel like I'm wiser, but I feel that because we do everything ourselves, we are truly in control of everything. You know, before it was like, man, I remember one time I co-authored this book and they wanted to reword something I said in the book.
Did you feel some type of way?
Definitely. Definitely. I wasn't happy with that.
You're like, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
Actually, I'll tell you guys what I said. They had me write the 10 Roman rules, 10 rules in life that I feel everyone should live by. And the 10th one was to die happy. And then after that rule, I elaborate what my meaning was by that. And the meaning of it is that you just never know when your last day is going to come. And if you you understand that your objective in life is to make sure that when your time does come, that you can die a happy person, that changes the entire perspective and dynamic of how you move through life. It shifts the focus. So when the publisher hit me up, they were like, I don't think that's palatable. It's a little too morbid. Can we make it live happy? And I'm like, it just doesn't hit you the same way. It just doesn't hit you the same. And that brings up another point I didn't even think about with this. I can be myself. I could be proper 1 minute, ratchet the next, cursing the next, whatever. And it's accepted. And the reason it's accepted is because not only do motherfuckers come back and listen to this shit the following week, but we're gaining more and more listeners. And it makes me feel like, you know what? I can be myself. I can be raw. I can be authentic. And there's people out there that are connecting and that can relate to this. And now I don't second guess myself anymore.
But with all that as well, do you feel that perhaps with all of these other ventures that you've done, because you have co-authored a couple of books and you have done YouTube channels and you have done all of this, do you feel like you feel more accomplished? Do you feel like you're more, like you said, yourself with this exact project? Like personally, as yourself, how do you feel?
I feel proud of myself because I think because we get the insights and the analytics, I tie the behaviors of what we're doing to the results.
Yes.
And that drives me more. Whereas with other ventures, I felt like I was more in the dark. And because I didn't see immediate results, I got discouraged pretty quickly. Whereas with this, I'm like hungry. I want to do more. I want to do more. I want to do more. And the thing is that I've learned long ago from having the right mentors and the right people around me, everything's not going to translate to dollars right away. And that's almost in any business venture. We just talked
about this.
And the thing is that this is the first venture where I didn't get discouraged because I wasn't making money right away. But I'm financially in a healthier space when I decided to embark on this journey. Whereas before, when I was trying to start businesses, that was my lifeline because I was broke as fuck, sick of being broke, desperate for a change. It just feels different. So I feel happy knowing that not only am I in a place financially where I can nurture and grow the business and not look at it like it's a money grab, but I can also invest into the business, knowing and understanding that if I'm going to throw my money out the window, I might as well throw it at something that, one, is going to touch other people's lives, and two, may eventually lead to opportunities in the future. So it's a win-win-win. It's like no matter what happens, I love this. I enjoy this. And we're doing it for all the right reasons. It's unique in comparison to any other business venture that I've had. And it'll be different from any other business venture I plan to have in the future. I have plans to eventually probably get back into foreign currency exchange or to stock exchanges or real estate, finding ways to develop passive income. And this will always be unique because it falls into the world of entertainment where not everybody makes it. Yes. So you have to have a certain level of tenacity and confidence, and there's got to be something that pushes you. And dude, you know what I'm loving the most? And this will be the last thing I say about this. How much I'm learning. I've always been super creative, but I'm like, every time I drop a video of us or something, like I'm learning more. And I'll say this without getting mushy because I'm sick of this shit. This is the first time I've had a true partnership with someone. So it makes it, I'm learning not to be that little kid in class that when we had to work on a group project, I'm like, listen, y'all motherfuckers gonna fuck this shit up.
I'm gonna shine regardless.
Let me handle this, whatever. I'm learning what it means to partner with someone. And I'm glad to have a partner like you that brings a lot to the table.
I appreciate
and that shares ideas, shares different perspective, and learning how to trust a partner. That's a really scary thing to do in business. So
I think that's that one thing I have learned along the way as well, to kind of like go off of what you're saying. I think that what I've learned during this time, almost 2 years. Yeah. Almost 2 years, is that I have learned not only my strengths, but your strengths as well. Because I mean, like when you make friends with someone, you're like these are your weaknesses, these are your strengths. I think that I have learned my own strengths and my own weaknesses and your strengths and your weaknesses. And we have been accepting of those things enough to be able to say, we are able to use this to our advantage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I could pick up the slack where you lack, you pick up where I lack, and vice versa.
And we don't hold each other.
And it's not like, oh, you're not good enough.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, okay, listen, you lack in this area. I'm good in this area. Let me take this, and vice versa.
Yeah, it's teamwork.
Yo,
true teamwork.
I genuinely feel so good that we are in this space and grown enough to accept each other's weaknesses and know how the other person can benefit this dynamic.
Yeah.
By doing so.
And I think that this has come at a right time where women of a particular age, despite the fact that 2 young ladies told me they thought I was in my 20s today.
Oh,
no, but it's great to have this energy, to have the level of maturity, to have the financial flexibility. It's been the perfect storm for us to truly be creative and not to allow stupid shit to interrupt what the fuck we got going on.
And it almost feels like it has allowed me to expose layers of myself that I didn't even know I had.
You've opened up so much more, like tenfold since we first started. And one more thing that I want to say is that for those of you who are like, okay, enough, you're licking each other's assholes and we're sick of it. I just want to say this. If you have a dream, if you have a vision, if you have a plan, if there's something out there that you want to do, just know that like this is like the perfect time to aim for it, and just learn from us that saying, I don't know if it was Martin Luther King or Abraham Lincoln, which are 2 totally different fucking people. It says that you don't need to be able to see the entire staircase to take the next step. I think it was MLK. Yeah. And I don't know, Abraham Lincoln said some shit along those lines, but fuck that nigga.
And chase somebody for a nickel. Sorry.
Anyway, point is that, just take the next step. Take your time, be patient. All these things you guys are seeing from us right now are things that we've envisioned from the beginning, but we tried to take baby steps because we always wanted to do things the right way. So we paced ourselves. So even if things aren't coming together immediately the exact way you want to do it, taking the first step towards your vision and your dream is like key, and then build. And then build on it and nurture it and grow it.
Yes.
And love yourself enough to be patient with yourself to grow things. Yes. Because if you look at a business venture like it's something you want to do for the rest of your life, just like you do with a relationship, be patient enough to know that whether I rush it and try to cram it in all now, or whether it happens a year and a half from now, I'm dedicated to making this a part of my life for the rest of my life, or whatever the fuck. Just be patient, learn, grow, and do your thing, but take the first step. And for any of you who are interested in doing something that involves podcasting or broadcasting or speaking in front of people, or I have this business idea, but I don't know where to start, like, feel free to text us. You can do it from our Instagram page. There's a button there to text us. Email us, hit us up. I would love to be a mentor to anyone out there who doesn't know where to start. So just hit us up.
Even just simple conversation. It goes far.
For sure.
All right, my last topic. Rome, we haven't dropped this as of yet, but we will.
Okay.
In a recent video, you did mention for queens out here to stop giving people the 3 strikes and you're out rule.
Yeah.
With that being said, when do you know if the person who struck out the first time deserves another chance? Is it just you taking another chance altogether?
I feel like anytime you forgive someone, you're always taking a chance that they may do it again. But you have to assess whether or not the experiences that'll come in warranting someone another opportunity outweighs the potential of them making hurt. That same mistake again. If the joy that they bring you, if the positive experiences they bring you completely outweigh them accidentally leaving the toilet seat up again. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had a very firm conversation about, motherfucker, don't leave up that toilet seat. But he pays the fucking bills. He takes you out. He buys you shoes. He does all these things. It's like, okay, you're giving him another chance. But if it's like, okay, he, let's think of another big fuck up that people can do in relationships. They were late to dinner. An hour late.
Okay.
And you're like, motherfucker, you left me waiting here an hour. I can't stand that. It irks the fuck out of me. I feel disrespected. He's like, baby, I promise I'm never going to do that again. And then you're like, okay, I forgive you. the next time you set a dinner date, you're going to be on pins and needles wondering if he's going to leave you waiting again. Mm-hmm. And you sometimes just have to try it again to find out who they are. If you let that fear like cripple you, sometimes you don't even give yourself the opportunity or the chance to learn who they are. Are they a man of their word? If you don't give them a chance again, you don't get to find out if they're a man of their word.
So are you of the thought that you should always give someone a second chance?
Not always. I think it depends on the situation.
What's one of the situations you would not give someone a second chance?
Like violence is something I can't give a second chance on.
Okay.
Stealing is something that I can't give a second chance on.
Okay. Cheating, depending on the circumstance, I may be able to give a second chance on. Why does it depend on a circumstance? Cheating is cheating.
Cheating. How long have we been together? How much value do you bring to I know you don't agree with it.
No.
But I'm just answering the question.
I know.
How long we've been together, the value you bring together in the relationship. Did you do it responsibly? Which I know to you, none of these things matter because you have a zero tolerance for cheating, which I respect. If you cheat and you bring me a STD and you get the other bitch pregnant, that's unforgivable. If you cheat and I just found out that you cheated and I'm like, I can't believe you, I don't know, I might forgive. And to be honest with you, I talk all this open-minded bullshit, but I have to date, never continue the relationship with someone I know, I've learned. Mm-hmm. Man, this drinking, I can't talk straight because I'm
drunk?
drinking. I'm not drunk, but it's hard to talk straight, bruh. It's hard to talk straight, bruh. Okay, let me try that again. Woo! If I've been in a relationship with someone and found out that they've cheated and I've stayed in that relationship, like I've never done that in my entire life. I talk a good game, but I've never actually done it. So
but that doesn't mean that because you haven't done it, you wouldn't be open to the thought that it's something that I would do.
Yeah, I feel like cheating comes in different forms and in many forms. I feel like some bitches are just like, yo, if I catch my man or my woman texting someone else and it's sexual and they're sending each other nudes, that's considered cheating to me and I'm fucking done. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's not enough for me to be like, it's over.
Okay.
Now, if it's a new relationship, I feel like if it's a new relationship, we don't live together, you don't pay none of my bills, and you're really not adding any real value to my life, it may make better sense for me to cut my losses and to start over with someone different. But I feel like if we're knee deep in the game, we got kids together, we live together, all the shit, there's more to lose. You know what I mean? It might be worth fighting for. So it's different.
Question. You have kids with someone.
We getting money.
No, listen, time out.
Sorry.
So you have kids with someone.
Yes.
Right? You have 2 kids with this person. You have been in a relationship for 4 or 5 years, right? And you find out that he's cheated on you. Okay? You leave him. You're gone. Nope, not doing this. Not doing this anymore. Mm-hmm. This person decides to 2 years later come back into your life and tell you, yo, I've changed. I've done all of this different things. Let me prove to you that I have become a different man. Mm-hmm. Do you, one, just take him back, or do you approach this situation as a new guy? Okay, show me how much you want me. Court me, take me on dates, show me who you are now that you say is different from before.
Yeah.
All of this.
Depends on a few factors.
Tell me what these factors are.
Depends on a few factors. The first factor is, if even though this motherfucker cheated on me years ago, do I still think about him from time to time?
I'm sure you do.
Sometimes you're like, fuck that motherfucker. I never want to see you ever again in life.
I have been there.
But if he's the type that I'm like, damn, if only he didn't cheat on me, man, we could have been something. Man, I wonder where we'd be right now if he never would have cheated on me. Man, I miss that dick.
Oh.
Whatever. Like, if you're thinking weird shit like that, then I might be like, I don't know.
How would you approach it, though?
The second piece.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The second piece is, if since I've dated you, have I evolved to experience a different type of man? Like, when we were together, My issue with you was that you cheated on me. Now I've evolved. You was the type of nigga to go Dutch with me. Now I got niggas sending me boots, shoes,
Starbucks cards.
Shout out to the homie that sends me the Starbucks cards and the care packages.
Oh,
I love you for that.
Packages.
I love you for that. Thank you. That's bae right there. That's bae right now. But my point is that it's like, wow, I've experienced a different kind of man in the past 2 years. And I don't know if you could live up to that. So my thing is like, if you want to try,
would you allow that?
I might let you try, but don't expect that we just going to jump back together. It depends on how bored I am. It depends on what the roster's looking like. Like if the pipe is dry, not the pipe, but I'm just saying like the pipeline of dating is dry. Maybe timing is a piece of it. It really depends. If it's like, you know what, I've been dating, but no one really has captivated me and I'm bored, I'm like, let's try it. But I would definitely put him through a series of tests. And I would hope that as a woman, I have evolved to a point where I trust a man's actions before I trust his words. And I'm like, okay, let me see what he does when the check comes. Let me see if he initiates this, that, and the third. Let me see if through these little tests, he's truly showing me that he's different from who he is.
And going off of your intuition rather than your excuses that you make for people just because you feel a certain type of way.
Because here's the thing. He's stepping to you like, yo, let me show you I'm a different man, right? He's going to try to create these series of tests to prove it to you. But meanwhile, on the slide, you got to be the one that's creating a series of silent tests and seeing how that's part of being a queen.
Yeah.
Part of being a queen.
I definitely agree with you with a lot of those things that you just mentioned. I think that going off of intuition, growing, understanding that not everything's going to play out exactly the way that you want it to.
Yeah.
But
I would just say this. Don't give someone a second chance if you're not prepared to test them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you're a woman that's just going to be like, all right, let's just try it again. And you're just like
going with it.
Go with the flow. Yeah. That's kind of stupid, you know, because now you're just subjecting yourself to anything that happens. If you go into it like, okay, I'm going to test. I'm going to ease into this. I'm going to test it. And at the first sight of danger, I'm prepared to be like,
I'm out.
Nah, homie, this ain't working. Thank you. Come again. Thank you for trying. Whatever.
Shing, shing.
Shishini.
Shishini.
Like, just go into it being prepared that at the first sight of this is unacceptable, that you're going to walk away. Then I feel like you really can't go wrong with it.
Yeah. You're not setting yourself up for failure. You're really
at least I'll get some free meals, maybe a gift or two, whatever. This was great.
Some attention, like Miss Aisha Curry wanted.
Yeah, like, thank you for trying.
Thank you. Yeah. Come again.
What do you think?
I agree with everything that you said.
Really?
I think that you're supposed to silently test these people. They should, if they fucked up the first time around and they want a second chance, they should definitely be going above and beyond to prove to you that everything that they've done in the past is completely different from who they are today. So that you can gain that kind of trust within them again and kind of feel like, okay, I will continue these silent tests. But like you said also, at the first sign of like, I'm not too sure.
And don't be ashamed. A lot of times as women, we feel like when we end relationships, we're supposed to be embarrassed because we're changing our relationship status on Facebook.
Who fucking cares?
Like, no, that ended because that wasn't right for me. And don't feel like you're a failure and ashamed to be rotating through motherfuckers because you just stop
be safe out here.
Just stop changing your relationship status on Facebook.
Word up. Nobody will know. Stop letting your business be known.
Keep the shit on single until a nigga puts a ring on it.
Damn. What the fuck? Don't even put engaged. Motherfuckers get out of that shit all the time.
But you can put engaged, but I'm just saying, you don't have to announce to everybody once you feeling somebody hard body because that's what makes you look stupid.
Nigga, just put it's complicated. All right? It's always complicated. It's always complicated until it's not. And even when it's not complicated, it's still complicated. So just leave it as complicated until you're married. That's all I'm saying.
I think that's good advice. I got two more things and then I'll wrap up because that was your last one, right?
That's my last one.
All right, I'll keep these very short, you guys. First of all, no more Winnie the Pooh comparisons for me. Say what now? Winnie the Pooh voice star Jim Cummings is accused of rape and animal abuse. So with that said, I don't want nothing to do with them motherfuckers.
Rape and animal abuse, meaning like he may have raped animals?
See, this drinking on the podcast, no more whiskey. Thank you, Jim. No, not Jim Beam. See? Thank you,
I'm doing better than you.
Jameson, for sponsoring this podcast inadvertently. You are doing better. Okay. Yeah, rape and animal abuse. The irony. A cute little honey bear with no pants on. And a voice actor is accused of rape and animal abuse.
That's a clip.
I got to figure this out. Because I'm still going to wear crop tops and I still got a cute little tummy.
Why feel like I connect be a Teddy Graham?
I want to be a Tummy Graham, but Teddy Graham.
Teddy, not Tummy Graham. No more drinking for you, nigga.
Okay, shout out to Troy for naming me a Teddy Graham. But they don't wear crop tops. But maybe I can start making them wear crop tops.
Exactly.
Gummy
Just
bear,
take a bite
Teddy
out
Graham.
of another one, melt it in your mouth, and stick it on there, and it's a crop top Teddy Graham.
Yeah. Winnie the Pooh, you're done. You're canceled.
Done.
Okay.
Cancel culture.
The second thing. Okay. I know I sounded like a bitch on a couple of episodes where I was talking about my problem with Uber drivers, like people showing up not as the Uber driver for the food delivery or for the pickups and whatnot. Mm-hmm. You motherfuckers think I'm paranoid as fuck. Well, I got something for your ass. And I know y'all team no snitching and whatnot, but this is the shit that makes me feel like I'm right. Here's via Love B. Scott, which, by the way, Love B. Scott, I got the Winnie the Pooh story from too. The title reads, "Stop the Madness. Man is in custody after posing as a rideshare driver and sexually assaulting a woman at knife point." What? Now, if she would have looked at the fucking
driver.
No, the icon, the picture of the person that was supposed to be picking her up. This shit wouldn't have happened. She would have been like, "You're not Bob."
So she just, but that's stupid. Was she a white woman?
I don't know, but that was very racist.
Sorry.
No, but
she had to have been a white woman.
I'm just saying, if you're
Call me Aisha Curry because I will not be PC with this story.
Listen, I've gotten into an Uber when it was supposed to be Patricia and it was her husband Bob because I didn't want to be late to the airport and I should not have done that. But I was
so you don't wait for them to say your name?
I do wait. So it was the right pickup. But remember we were talking about, you were giving me the example of what if the wife's got a sick kid at home and she sends her boyfriend. Yeah. It was that scenario.
Oh.
Her husband picked me up instead.
Oh.
In her car.
What a fucking asshole.
No, but back at that time, you were okay with it.
Well, because her kid was sick.
Okay. Okay, so my point is, I'm expecting Patty to pick me up and Bob shows up.
Right.
I have a problem with that. And this is exactly the reason why. Because if Shorty would have been like, "Yo, you're not Bob," how the fuck someone posing as a rideshare driver can get you? Like, just pay close attention to who the fuck is picking you up. Okay, a 41-year-old man is in custody after Delaware authorities say he pretended to be a rideshare driver and sexually assaulted a woman at knife point. The suspect, identified as Roberto Rodriguez, God damn it, picked the woman up just after 1 a.m. on a Saturday as she was walking in Newark. God damn it.
Damn!
Latino and Newark. Y'all niggas need to get it together. According to authorities, the man told her he drove for a rideshare service and offered her a lift in his GMC. God damn it, GMC.
So she didn't request an Uber.
I don't know what happened.
See, you're a liar. It wasn't him taking care of his wife wasn't. You're a wife. God damn it.
No, I'm not saying that he gave that excuse.
No. I'm saying like you gave it as a similarity. And he just stopped because there is things like that in New York too.
That they're like,
that,
"Oh,
right?
I'm a lift if you want to request a lift."
I got you. You want me to take you somewhere, whatever. Like they got the dollar buses and stuff like that.
Yeah. But if she would have requested the lift and it would have pinged it to a driver, and the driver that's on the app is different from the person you're getting in the whip with, I feel like we should hold ourselves accountable to only get in the whips of the people identified on the app.
I agree,
and that would avoid bullshit like this, man.
Continue. I'm sorry, I got upset.
No, it's okay. But I get you were in your right to Man, I'm sick of these cookies stalking me. They giving me an ad that on some shit I Googled today. Anyway, I digress.
Okay.
The man told her that he drove for a rideshare service and offered her a lift in his GMC pickup truck. But she had not ordered the ride. After she entered the vehicle, Rodriguez pulled over and threatened her with a knife as he ordered her to perform a sexual act with him, according to Newark cops. He then continued to drive her, but she was later able to flee the vehicle. Cops released surveillance video of the vehicle and said Sunday morning that Rodriguez had been apprehended. He was hit with multiple charges, including first degree and possession of a deadly weapon. Rodriguez was charged with malicious interference with emergency communications for taking a woman's phone to prevent her from immediately calling the police. Blah, blah, blah. There's more to the story. Listen, I just want
so wrong.
No, I just want you guys to take this ride sharing shit serious. I'm not saying don't use the service, but make sure that the person on the app is the person you're getting in the car with at least. If a nigga shows up with your delicious lasagna and it's not Betty and it's Bob instead, I get it. Take the food, but be careful opening the door moving forward. Get the Ring doorbell or some shit. Like, I just don't trust people. There's bad people out there, and I just care about everybody being safe.
I understand. I agree with you. You should just get the cameras at your doorbell where you're like, thank you. Please leave the food at the front of the door and walk back to your vehicle slowly.
I get it. Anyway, I just read this story and I just felt the need to be Mother Rome and be motherly and whatnot.
Good for you, friend.
And it's a full circle moment. We went from Mother's Day to being motherly.
Yo, I like what you did there.
Unintentionally, I'm a genius.
That's the title of this show. Intentionally Motherly.
Unintentionally? Or
Unintentionally Motherly.
All right, motherfuckers. Thanks for listening to the show. I love you. The growth has been amazing. Every time I look and I see it, I get so warm and fuzzy on the inside. Just thank you so much. And there's definitely more to come. Like we say every episode, email us, text us, write us. We want to read some of your questions on air to spice this up a little bit. So do not hesitate to hit a motherfucker up.
Yes. And tell a friend to tell a friend, because that growth is really, really, really real, you guys. We will have that possible blowout discount code for you guys soon. Further details to come. And the same content that I keep telling y'all every week that we will deliver for you. Please stay tuned, because it will definitely be more to come.
Oh, and if you haven't done it already, definitely follow us on Instagram, CO and Rome Podcast. A lot of cool shit's been going out on there. So we your next IGTV star. You feel me? All right, that's it.